Hey everyone! Happy. What day of the week is it? I think it's Wednesday. It is. It's Wednesday, July 1st. You guys like this tank top? Fitness teacher, gospel preacher, the RW Revelation Wellness. I am a certified Live Well health coach through Revelation Fitness, also a certified fitness teacher, gospel preacher. And from Revelation, Elisa Keaton's program as well. So I'm going to give you guys a minute if you're available to hop on. I learned something the other day that I had forgotten. Typically, when you go live in a group, you are not able to see the comments. And I know Dr. Edie has even mentioned that. It's something different about going live in a group versus going live out on your profile. But if you are joining me, I would love it because I have actually turned it on my phone. I'll be able to see your comments if you pop on, and if not, well, the replay will be here in the group, but only for 30 days. That is the new Facebook rule. They only hold video replays for 30 days and then they disappear. All right, raise your hand if you were on Dr. Edie's live yesterday at 2 o'clock when she did the July teaching early around the premise of nourishing habits. Because if you were on, I was on, I took a lot of notes. It was really, really good. Honestly, I sat there thinking, dang, that just ties in so beautifully to the Live Well Collective and living well, and our weekly series called the Living Well Weekly. Now, if we've not met and you're new to this group, I am Coach Carmen James. I have actually 4 decades. I don't know, that sounds a little better than 40 years. 40 years makes me sound ancient. 4 decades in the health and wellness industry, and I felt like God laid it on my heart to create a program and bring it to market for life coaches to help life coaches steward well the vessel, the body that has to carry the calling. And that body, just like a car, I have a car out there in my garage. That car in the garage, if I don't put gas in the tank, if I put diesel in an unleaded tank, that car's not going to run. If I don't ever take it to the dealership for its maintenance and service that comes due every so often, the car's not going to run well. If you don't put new tires on it, if you don't service it, if you don't wash it, sweep it out, do the things, the car that you spent so much money on is not going to be in the best of shape. And it's really always been fascinating to me in the 40 years that I have been in health, fitness, and wellness. I am always amazed. People will spend a lot of money on a car, but then they will literally complain or make a million excuses as to why they cannot put the same investment into this body. And this body is the only one we're ever going to have on this side of eternity. You can trade a car in. You are not trading this in. So we got to come up higher. We've got to do better. So your fitness teacher, gospel preacher, is going to preach a little bit today on this episode of the Live Well Weekly, because I want to inspire, encourage, and motivate all of you to consider what are your healthy habits, your nourishing rhythms. I love that Dr. Edie used the language around rhythms because it's actually one that I use as well. So, the title of today's episode, and sorry, my little dog is wanting me to throw her ball. The title of this episode is The Health Habits of Sustainable Leaders or Leadership, and why the best leaders protect their capacity before they protect their calendar. I just want you to sit with that for a moment. How would you rate yourself in terms of protecting your capacity before you fill up your calendar, your day planner? Because here's what I want to share with you. I did a little digging around in preparation for our little time together today, and research, not surprisingly, consistently shows that leaders who intentionally prioritize sleep, movement, recovery, emotional regulation, healthy boundaries, those leaders, those coaches demonstrate stronger decision making, greater resilience, less stress, less burnout, more love for what they do, and they sustain higher performance over the long haul. But here's what's really fascinating. And you know what? As a personal trainer and a wellness coach who had a 5-year online membership called Fit Souls, this is fascinating because I saw it in the women that I coached, even in Fit Souls. Most struggling coaches don't lack information, or we can just insert most struggling women don't lack information. They lack repeatable habits. Everybody knows water's healthy. Everybody knows stress affects the body, right? I mean, this is not rocket science. And everybody knows that it's important to fuel our bodies instead of feeding our emotions. Everybody knows we need work-life balance. Everybody knows, fill in the blank. Information's never been the issue. It's not that we don't have the information or know the things. The issue, the disconnect, is in our action, in our implementation. And what do we know as life coaches that the average woman wouldn't know? Action does not happen before what? There's a thought. And a thought that creates feelings, and feelings create the action or lack thereof, right? So, I want you to take how we coach our clients around the creation cycle and begin to ask yourself, what are the thoughts on repeat that you have around your body, around your health, around what you eat, around your sleep, around setting healthy boundaries, around managing stress, around work-life, home-life balance, around something as simple. We all know the importance of drinking water, but do we do it? We all know the value of starting our day with a little bit of quiet time, a journal, a candle, a walk in nature, a scripture, a devotional, prayer time. We all know we don't lack the information. What we lack is the ability to take the information and apply it. I was sitting this morning in a presentation that Laura did for cohort number 5. Our coaching cohort is still meeting, as I'm guessing those of you that aren't in cohort 5, your groups are probably still meeting as well. And Laura was doing this great presentation this morning around 90-day goals. And I started thinking about, this applies to every area of our lives. what Dr. Edie said yesterday, what I'm sharing with you today, what Laura talked about this morning, it all goes together. It all goes together. It's what are the thoughts? If you have a thought that I hate exercise, I don't like broccoli, I hate to sweat, I don't like the taste of water, my husband won't eat vegetables, my kids are picky eaters, I don't have the time, I don't want to get up earlier, I don't want to work out at night, I don't feel like moving my body. All the things, right? Does it sound like I've coached for 40 years? Listen, I've heard it all. I've heard it all and I've seen it all. And I don't buy it all. My clients that were in my Fit Souls membership knew that. I like to dole out a lot of tough love. Like, I really am not going to get in the pool with you on that excuse, right? So, if information isn't the issue when it comes to our health and well-being, living well, building our businesses, maintaining our businesses, if we want those things to last over the long term, no different than servicing the car in your garage or your driveway, we got to service and steward this. And I want to invite you to consider, hey, Peggy, I had to look down. You guys know I can't see the comments. They won't let me see them on my laptop for the group, but I got my phone up and Peggy's in the house. Give it up for Peggy. Yeah, we love you, Peggy. All right, so here's the shift. The healthiest leaders, they don't ask, I don't know, what do I feel like doing today? I don't feel like walking the dog. I don't feel like eating a salad. I don't want chicken for dinner. I don't want to go to bed. I want to stay up and play on my phone. Right? The healthiest leaders are not asking, what do I feel like doing today? They ask, who am I becoming? Now that's a Dr. Edie thing, but it applies over here. When it comes to living well, who are you becoming? Who are you becoming? Are you becoming the businesswoman who makes excuses and sacrifices yourself on the altar of success? Or are you becoming the sustainable leader who leads yourself well and understands this vehicle is worth more than that car in the garage? And it deserves more of my time, money, and resources. Who am I becoming? Because identity always precedes the habit. I'm going to say that again. Identity always precedes the habit. Healthy habits aren't something sustainable leaders do. They're simply evidence of who those leaders have become. So let's just pause here for a moment. Let's just sit in that for a hot second. Who are you becoming? I mean, great that you just graduated if you did, and you want to be the life coach with the book of business, but how are you going to sustain that business if your health is at risk, if you're not taking care of you? And what are you going to do with the client who comes to you who wants to lose weight? Because lives. And women, they face menopause, premenopause, menopause, postmenopause. You know, they've had a baby, they this, they that, they just, hit another milestone. They turn 50, they turn 60, they turn 70. How are you going to coach them if you're not living it? Like, there's a word for that and starts with the letter H. Just putting it out there. A little tough love. But now we're going to shift over into scripture. Because in the Old Testament, in the book of Daniel, I love the book of Daniel. Man, do I love Daniel. Daniel set the bar high for us in terms of habits. And I bet you're like, well, this ought to be good. Where's she going to go with this? Stay with me. Stay with me. Your fitness teacher, gospel preacher's bringing it today. Daniel didn't suddenly become faithful when he landed in the lion's den. Let that sink in. He had already built faithful habits. When the pressure increased, when the fire went, when the pressure came, when those lions showed up, his habits stayed the same. Daniel 6, chapter 6, grab your Bibles, look it up, tells us he continued praying 3 times a day, just like he had always done. It was his lifestyle. It wasn't something he did when the sun was out and he felt like it. It was who he had become. It was his lifestyle. His public courage came from private consistency. In the moments that nobody else saw, just Daniel and God. And pressure revealed his habits. It did not create them. I'm going to say that again because that is like that should be on a tank top. Truly. Pressure revealed his habits. It did not create them. And the same is going to be true for us. There's a beautiful quote by Rory Vaden, and it says, "Success is never owned. It is rented. And the rent comes due every day." I'm going to let you sit with that for a second. It isn't just about successfully building out a coaching business. Success is also defined in how you steward the vessel that has to carry the weight, or if you've been coaching a while, maintain that weight. Can I get a witness? So we're going to transition here, and I'd actually say the same thing is true of our health. Healthy leadership isn't earned once. It's not a one and done. It's something that you and I are called to steward every single day. I used to say this all the time in my Fit Souls membership. I would say to those women, look at, we're building a lifestyle. A lifestyle means this is how we live, you know? It's not we get up today and go, well, you know, maybe I'll brush my teeth, maybe I won't, maybe I'll take a shower, maybe I won't, maybe I'll just walk around naked, I don't know, maybe I'll feed myself, maybe I won't. No, that's not what we do. We've built lifestyles. What does your current lifestyle say in regards to your prioritization? There it is. Of your health and well-being, of your ability to live well. Be a role model. Go first. You're going to have women who are going to come to you wanting help in this area. You've got to live it first. You've got to go first. That's why I love Dr. Edie. I'm like, girl, just keep queuing up the stage for me. You make it so much easier. All of this is tied to our creation cycle, our thoughts about our health, about our bodies. If we look at our bodies and we hate them, well, we are not going to care about stewarding something we don't love. Come on, you get a brand new car, you like take that thing to the car wash every day. You don't let anybody eat or drink in it. You don't want to park anywhere where somebody's going to ding the doors, right? Come on. But when we hate something, when we're hating on it, when we're, you know, and picking it apart, well, I guarantee you, we're not going to find a lot of healthy habits on our daily to-do list. Not going to be there. We're too busy hating on it. We don't spend a lot of time, money, energy, resources on the things we loathe. At least I don't. So, as a part of the Living Well Reset, which is a part of our Live Well Weekly, if you haven't been around, if you haven't been following me, out on social media. I've now moved to Live Well Weekly just inside this group. Physically, I want to invite you to ask yourself, what habit, okay, write this down, what habit would create the biggest return if I repeated it every day for the next month? What would that be? Not 5 habits, one. Uno. Mentally speaking, what habit would the healthiest version of you refuse to negotiate? Ooh, that's a really good question, Coach. Because it is. Physically, mentally, 2 really good resets for you to consider. Great questions to sit with and ponder. And a part of our living well is I give you a living well practice. So we take what we've been talking about, actually practice it. It's what I call the sustainable 7. For 7 days, I want you to choose one, not 2, not 3, not 4, just one habit. Track it every day. I'm not asking you to chase perfection. We don't care about that. But I do want you to build trust with yourself. Stop measuring success by intensity and measure it by consistency. Can I consistently do what I say I'm going to do and not abandon myself? Emotionally, notice when you're negotiating with yourself, when you're making excuses. Healthy leaders make fewer emotional decisions because healthy habits reduce decision fatigue. Let me read that again. Healthy leaders make fewer emotional decisions. You know, sometimes we're up in our emotions and our feelings. We don't always make the best decisions. That's when we're like, I deserve the treat. I deserve the ice cream. I deserve to eat the chips. I deserve to just lay on the couch for the next 6 hours and binge watch my favorite show. I deserve, I'm entitled. Healthy leaders make fewer emotional decisions because healthy habits reduce decision fatigue. And spiritually, I want to invite you to ask God, what daily rhythms, there's the key word Dr. Edie was using, what daily rhythms bring me closer to you instead of simply getting more done? Remember the story about Martha and Mary? Who chose wisely? It was not Martha, the doer. It was Mary, who was being. So, coaching question from one coach to another. What habit would the healthiest version of you refuse to negotiate? I think that is worth looking at. And then when we're looking at the next 7 days, I'm going to throw out some ideas. Maybe you're going to start going for a 10-minute short morning walk. I mean, it's hot as Hades here in Ohio. I mean, like, ugh, it is hot and humid. Maybe you're going to decide to add protein at breakfast. Maybe you're going to have prayer before email. That's one of my things. I try not to look at email, text, or social media until I have at least spent a few minutes acknowledging the creator of the universe. Maybe you're going to go out, take a walk after dinner at night, 20 minutes. Maybe you're going to shut that laptop down at 6 p.m. Or maybe you're going to grab a gratitude journal and start practicing gratitude. Consistency beats intensity every single time. I'm about to land the plane, so Peggy, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you. I used to think that successful people had more willpower. They were more motivated. You know, when I was a wellness coach and a fitness coach, people would say, here's why I'm going to hire you. I need to lose weight, I need to get off of medications, and I need motivation. Yeah, I would laugh like that to myself, not out loud, because I'm thinking, okay, well, I can help you lose the weight. I mean, I've helped people lose 100 pounds in a year. I mean, yeah, I can do it. I can help you get off your diabetes medicine, no problem. I got that. But motivation, I'm sorry. Where would you like me to? I mean, you know, I can't go out and get that out of the trunk of my car and ship it to you. Come on now. Come on. What have we learned? Motivation is a byproduct of taking action first. But before we even do anything, we got to change our thoughts. What kind of thoughts do we have to think on repeat intentionally to become the woman who does the thing? Right? Come on now. I used to think successful people had more willpower. Now I believe they simply remove more of the decisions. Their habits carry them. Their habits carry them. Listen, this is what I wrote down. When motivation disappears, motivation is emotional. Habits are structural. Habits are the foundation. One fades, the other sustains. So, here's your challenge. This week, don't go out and try to overhaul everything at once. That's what we do as women. We're like, well, I need to lose some weight. So then we do all this crazy stuff, or I need to start moving my body, or I need to go to bed earlier. And we just start all these rules and deprivation thinking, and then we quit. We just quit. This week, we are not overhauling our lives. We are building one habit at a time, protecting it like it's an appointment with our future, because that's exactly what it's going to become. It is. So, with that said, I want to leave you with this very powerful thought. Health. Your health, my friend, isn't another thing for you to manage. And I think that's sadly what we think. We think we need to manage our sleep, manage this, track that, get an Apple Watch and tell me how many steps I walked, how many calories I burned, la 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 la. I got rid of that like 3 years ago. I threw my Fitbit in the trash. I'm like, I'm not going to be ruled by this. I'm not a slave. We're not trying to beat our bodies. We're not rented mules. We're not trying to beat our bodies into submission. Health isn't another thing for you and I to manage. It's the foundation that is going to make sustainable leadership and coaching possible. Because here's what I know to be true after 40 years in the health and fitness industry. Your central nervous system is your business model. And if we don't prioritize and protect that and steward that well, then when you get a stage 3 cancer diagnosis like I did in 2017 and you're told it's incurable and that you may only have, if you're lucky, if the chemo works and you're lucky enough to survive, you only have maybe 10 years left. I am at 8 years of remission. Technically, according to the doctors, 2 years. Well, let's just say I have elected not to declare and decree and buy in and believe all of that. I believe we serve a good God who's still on the throne, who's still in the miracle business. But I never thought I would sit across from an oncologist and hear, you have stage 3 incurable cancer. I am not a unicorn. There are people going to the doctor every day getting similar news. This isn't Vegas. We don't want to roll the dice. We don't want to play like that. There is a call for all of us to steward well. It's not choose your business or choose your health. I did that. And it was a wake-up call in 2017. One I regret, but one that lights me on fire to help you. I don't want anyone on my watch to get that. And I will do whatever I can to keep saying the things that need to be said and believing in a program like the Living Well Collective, because to my knowledge, there is not another program out there that is targeting just specifically life coaches. I want to help you choose both. It's not one or the other. It's choosing both and stewarding well, giving you the education, the tools, and the support that you need to run well your God-given mission and calling. All right, guys, let me know what landed for you, what was of value for you. I'm about to go live for my profile, my personal profile for the general public. If you're not aware, I also do a series called Fridays with Friends. I'm going to do it early today because we're headed into a holiday weekend. I know a lot of people are busy and probably very distracted. So I'm going to go ahead and hit 2 lives back to back. But I would love to know, what was of value? What's your takeaway? Peggy says, hi, Carmen. This is fire. Aw, yay. Well, good. Then God counts that as success. Then I did my job today. That makes me happy. My next 7 days, phone off at 8 p.m. and prepare myself for bed and wind down. I love it. I love it, Peggy. And I love that you're here. Thank you for giving me 30 minutes of your day, because time is all that we do indeed have. And we do have a lot of other choices about how we steward our time. But man, I just want to tell you something, Peggy. I sat with a business coach, well, not a business coach, but a mentor the other night, and I was sharing my vision for this community and for a program that I want to bring to market for life coaches. And I really got discouraged sitting with her. I really felt like she thought that I was crazy and wasting my time and it would be too hard and da 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 da. And the enemies come for me this week and really got up in my thoughts and really discouraged me. In fact, I just thought, screw it. I'm just not even going to go live this week. Like, who cares? No one cares. But Peggy, you care. And you showed up. And so I'm going to take that as a God wink. And you'll have to let us know how you're doing over the next 7 days. I hope you have an amazing 4th of July. Show up in this group, engage, participate. Make sure you listen to the introduction video that I did. You'll hear more of my heart for this group. But with that, I'm going to leave you guys. Have an amazing 4th of July. I'll see you in the group. And we will continue our Live Well Weekly series. And be sure to invite someone else to join the group who's a coach. Bye now.